welcome to the first episode of Out of the Box. Out of the Box is Propaganda's latest podcast series, and the idea is to talk about basically other ideas. And being stuck at home, actually, I shouldn't say being stuck at home. I'm one of the lucky ones who's privileged enough to have a safe home to stay at. You know, being at home and working, I thought it would be a great opportunity to connect to different people. My initial go to is going to be getting as many women co founders, influencers, activists, teachers, doctors, anybody who's doing anything interesting to get them on the platform, because I feel like in the normal day to day, sometimes the voice of women it gets suppressed, and sometimes you're only able to hear one aspect of the voice, and we're surrounded by so many cool women. It's about time that we heard their stories and we told their stories. I'm glad that I have Propaganda, that I can leverage this platform and reach out and share their stories with you. Now I am just waiting for my guests to join. Hi, welcome Tanzeela. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. We've been planning this for so long.
And here we are. That's the best
Yes,
thing.
finally, finally. Also, I'm getting a bit of an echo. Am I like on speaker over there?
Yeah, just connect my phone. Okay, am I still audible?
Yes, you're still audible and there is no echo. This is amazing. Okay, and I'm recording the audio. Actually, like ever since I sent you that request, I've just been here. I've just been talking to myself and recording it.
Areva, I think it is something that we need a pinch of. So I'm glad that you started a topic like that. So the moment a guest comes on this podcast, they start thinking out of the box. So good job.
Exactly, exactly. And it's about, just being okay with conducting uncomfortable conversations, and things that people sometimes might not want to hear, but they should. Anyway,
Perfect.
so Tanzila, tell me, how would you introduce yourself?
I would say that I'm an entrepreneur at the moment, and I have been doing a lot of projects in different fields. So it is truly a challenge, Sama. And I think me and my father keep on having these debates, and he's like, "You don't have a proper introduction," and I'm like, "I'm a good person. That's my introduction." So
That's the best
and
introduction.
he doesn't really like yeah, and he's like, "No, you need to have a more serious direction." And I said, "Yes, I
Okay.
will. I've given myself some time to explore." So to answer your question, I'll say I'm an entrepreneur. Whatever I do, there's a sustainability angle to it, and we're always trying to generate income and make a difference, and then put back that money into better ideas. So yes,
So, when did this entrepreneurial journey start for you?
I was very young. I think the first thing that I ever sold was a tiny soap, and I sold that to
Okay.
my cousin in my village
All
because
right.
there's just one washroom for everybody. Like I have 7 uncles on my mother's side, so I have a
Hmm.
huge family on my mother's side, a lot of cousins. So
Yeah.
everybody wanted their own soap. So I had a tiny soap. You remember those
Understandable.
Kepli soaps? So I sold it to him, and my family wasn't happy, and they were like, "He's your cousin. You should have given it to him." I was like, "Why?" And then the journey continued. When I was in fifth grade, I started
Okay.
my friendship band business,
Oh,
and
how did
that was
that go?
also I don't know how that happened. Like I had one of my maids. She taught me how to make friendship bands, and
Mm-hmm.
we got some thread, and we started making those. And Sama, in that age when you're like in fourth, fifth grade, you are shy. Sometimes you feel
Yeah.
a bit out of. I was going through a phase where I had no friends. So I
Hmm.
made these friendship bands, and just imagine I go to school, and instead of giving it to my classmates and saying that you all are my friends, I said, I'm going to sell these to you. And they
That's
all bought
amazing.
it, and they would all
That's
buy
awesome.
from me. And then the students from the other classes would come and buy from me. And then once
Okay.
I would make a lot of money, my classmates would borrow money from me to have cola from the canteen.
Wow.
So I made friends, I was giving out loans, I was making money, and I was
Amazing.
like, this is what, there you are. And I was like, this is
Yeah.
what empowerment it is, and I want to do this. So I think that's how it all started.
That's pretty cool, man. I wish
Yeah,
I had like an entrepreneurial bone in my body when I was growing up. But when I was growing up, I was very like a very arts and crafts kind of child, like putting, scotch taping things together and like glue. And so the entrepreneurial thing for
because
me is relatively new.
but what you have is equally important, creativity. Like entrepreneurs are nowhere near to what creative people are. I mean, look at us right now. We're all turning towards art and creativity. So
Exactly. It's such an interesting
yeah,
dynamic, right? Like everybody's roles have just outshined in such amazing ways. Like, this pandemic has made us realize that we need to invest more in healthcare. And it has also, brought to the front the fact that there's a lot of inequality in our education system. And you see that come to the front when you have online classes and a lot of kids don't have access to the internet, you know, and they don't have laptops and don't have computers. So I think this pandemic is making certain things very clear. What do you think about that?
I agree. And I think that there is no going back. I think
Yeah.
once this pandemic, inshallah, is over and it's
Hmm.
safer to travel around, everybody is safe. I don't think our lifestyles could go back the way they were, the way we meet our friends outside in restaurants. I think somehow we're getting more comfortable in our couches. It is a good
Yeah.
and a bad thing, because sometimes, leaving the house called for a lot of motivation, and that was a great way to
Hmm.
push yourself
Yeah.
ahead in life. But now, if you're
Yeah.
doing everything in your bedroom, so I don't think that is a big hustle. So that I think about it, but then I also think about security and safety, and that is a
Hmm.
priority. So
Yeah.
I hope that the pandemic is over soon.
You have the toll on life, and then you also have the toll on the economy, and it's endless. And I think for a while we might not realize how much it has impacted us until we actually see it all in the clear in numbers and stats in front of us. So that's yet to come.
Completely.
But yeah,
Yes.
let's talk about happier things.
Let's do
i
it.
don't want to i don't want to unbox like a box of sadness.
No, no, it's all right. It's all
Yeah.
part of life. Huh?
Yes, part of life.
Yeah.
Acha, so Tanzila, tell me, okay, actually, before we go to girly things, I want to talk to you about Fruit Chat. So you sent me the link, and I saw it, and I really enjoyed it. I liked the script writing. I liked I liked the camera angles. I liked the color grading. I liked the story, right? And I liked your acting. I didn't know you used to act.
Arre wah. No, not really, Saman. I'm so happy. Such kind comments I'm getting from you. I'm happy you liked so much about it. And I don't really act, and I'm not trying to pave my way into acting. Also,
Okay.
I only played the role because I wanted to represent the cause well, and only someone who's been through it can do it. But anyone can do
Okay.
it. To be honest, Act, any
Okay.
good actor can do it. So
So for
we wrote,
sorry, go on.
yeah, yeah,
I was just going to
we
ask
wrote
for
this.
those. I was just going to clarify because it's a podcast, right? For those of us who haven't seen it, what is the cause that you're representing in Fruit Chart?
Well, Fruit Chart is a comedy film on disability, and it's available for anybody to watch. It has subtitles, so we're trying to cover a wide range of audience. And now, if you have seen media and content, and you are already in the content business,
Hmm.
so you're part of the industry, so you'll know some of that. We don't have a lot of light representation of disability. We
Yeah.
always have high powered motivational videos based on disability that
Hmm.
always tend to bring tears to your eyes.
Yeah.
I was a bit sick and tired of that, because that is definitely not who we are. Me and a lot of people that I know, we have
Hmm.
personalities. We could be mean, we could be evil, we could plot your death, you won't even know.
Yeah.
So
True. Very true.
we all have, exactly, like we all have black and white inside us. So why push us towards just one corner? We have like different personalities as well. So I was like, something needs to be done. So
Yeah.
this script I wrote a year ago, and we
Okay.
did send it to some major production houses in Pakistan. We were like, look, we've done this. Would you like to do it? We will not take a single penny. We just want you to do it because you're reputable. And they were like, no, they had some issues with the timing and all of that. They were quite genuine issues. They were like technical issues, but I had their support, and all of them have shared it and shown me a lot of love and support. So, I collected money throughout the year, saved money, and on 1st of Jan, in one day, we shot this entire short film. Like rushing from one location to the
You
other
have a
and
lot
then
of
going
shots?
back to the same location.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was all in one day because and I remember I left my makeup at another location. So there
Okay.
was one scene where I had no makeup on, and luckily I don't look that like, you see, there are some camera rules. There are some like camera rules that we
Mm.
have to follow. But luckily nothing looks bad on me. I look fine.
Okay.
So I was like,
That's
this is
cool.
the
I
first film.
actually didn't notice, you know.
Yeah, so thanks to the director, the way he has shot the film,
Amazing.
Moise Abbas, he's done such a good job.
That's great. How was your experience making a short film over here?
I enjoyed every bit of it. It was so much fun, especially with the public that gathers around you, and they have no clue who you are. Just because you're in front of a camera, they think that you're a big star, and they all want to come forward and talk to you. And I remember there was one scene, there were 100 people standing on my left side. There were
That's
cars, there were like
amazing.
buses stopping, and the scene had to go on. And most of the scenes that you see, they're like one takes. It was like
Okay,
there and
wow.
then. We're out of time, we have to do that there and just go to the next location. So why I'm sharing this is because every acting that you're seeing in this film came from the heart. Everyone was
Yeah.
feeling the cause. So it was so natural, and it went well. I really enjoyed it.
So have people reached out to you and shared, that this kind of helped them see disability a little differently, at least from the way that it is portrayed on the main screen, movies, TV, whether.
Yes, we have received good feedback, and but Sama, I just feel like there hasn't been a lot of discussion around it that we
Hmm.
aim to do. We wanted to have discussions, and like we have highlighted issues like education need or accessibility or
Yeah.
job hunting or even finding the right life partner. All of it has all been put on the table together. I don't see a lot of activists really picking up those scenes and starting a discussion, but it's maybe because
Hmm.
of the current situation that we're in.
Yeah, but
But
a lot of
I hope
causes are being picked up and discussed. It's not that discussions
yeah,
have stopped. You're actually, that's a very valid point. I think we're also very selective in our activism, don't you think? At least I think that way,
I
maybe.
agree. You're right, and I think disability is pretty much at the end of the line,
Hmm.
and that is understandable. So people like you and I, we can slowly bring it a bit in the front also, so it becomes a priority for everybody.
Tanzila, how out
Yeah.
of the periphery do you think is our talk about, disability and various forms of disability? It could be physical, it could be mental. Do you think people are comfortable having these conversations, or is it always a struggle? Like having an honest conversation.
I think we're slowly maneuvering towards making it more comfortable because of the exposure that we have today
Hmm.
and because of media. But I have to say, it is a bit of a struggle because it's a wall that is between one person and the other ones. But it goes for anybody. For example, somebody who's just lost someone very close to them or someone who has cancer. I think talking to them too is a bit of a challenge. You don't
Yeah.
know what is the right thing to say. So when it comes to me, I have children walking up to me asking me, "Aapko kya hua hai?" And I really appreciate them. Okay, if someone is with me, they would get offended. They'll be like, "Ye kaisa sawal hai? What are you saying?" Sir? I'm like,
Hmm.
no, if this child has come up with so much courage, I appreciate, and then I give them a proper answer. Their parents get
Okay.
very agitated. So one So this kid came up to me and asked me, "Okay, what happened to you?" Because I was on the wheelchair. So his mom ran behind him and she started apologizing. And I said, "No, hold on, let me talk to him." And I told him the truth. I told him, "Look, God made me and God made you like that. So this is
Hmm.
God's decision. But that does not mean that I don't do anything. Look, I'm shopping in this mall, I'm buying groceries, I am buying this dress. I will go home and I will make food. So I also go to school, I also study, and I also have a job right now." So I
Hmm.
told him that I am disabled, but I'm not redundant. So don't worry. And the child was pretty smart. He was good, and I was very happy to talk. So I think we need to tell our kids about these things.
Yeah, that's very true. I think a lot of things start with the dialogue, right? That's that's like the inception of things moving forward.
Absolutely agreed.
Yeah. So, Tanzila, I also wanted to talk about, like, in the beginning we touched upon entrepreneurship. So, right now, one of the things that you're working on is girly things. So, how did you come to the idea that, and if I'm not wrong, what girly things does is that you can order sanitary pads online and they will be delivered to your doorstep, right? And you can also donate to people who are unable to afford them. That's my understanding. Is there anything like you'd like to elaborate or anything that I'm missing out?
Sure. So basically, you're right about the first part. We are in
Okay.
e-commerce for personal hygiene care, and
Mhm.
our USP is that we maintain the privacy of our user, and
Right.
we always have a conversation with the user. We're not like any other e-commerce that you've placed an order and that's it. You can always
Hmm.
call and ask about the products. We'll always tell you the quality and we'll tell you what is the right product for you. So it's like a consultation. When women who are married, they have so many questions about their reproductive health,
Okay.
and they wonder if there are any products out there to enhance their reproductive life or
Mhm.
their health. There are none. So there is no helpline or a platform where they can go and talk. Yes, there are groups on Facebook, but if you
Yeah.
get a chance to talk to an e-commerce brand where the salesperson is there available for you, they can answer
Mm.
you. They can tell you, okay, this is the direction you need to take. It makes the other person feel more comfortable. Sometimes we can't even
Right.
talk to our mothers about these problems. I mean, I never had that kind of understanding. It
Yeah,
was
I think it's
always
quite uncommon here. It's not.
exactly
It's
women
not the
are
done
shy.
thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So menstruation is something that we don't talk about, and
Yeah.
we need to talk about it. But living in Islamic Republic of Pakistan, I don't want to push the entire nation into a very liberal idea. We have to take one thing at a time. So we
Okay.
thought we need to talk about mental health care, but with the comfort of the user. Not every girl is comfortable
Mm.
to talk about it openly. So we'll create a
Exactly.
space where they come, they talk anonymously or whatever you want. They want products, they'll get them without their families knowing. And
Hmm.
moreover, if she wants to come forward, that's her choice. I am no one to tell her, okay, look, it's okay to talk about it. That's her choice. So
Yeah.
we needed some to suit our values and culture and
Hmm.
whoever needs it. So girly things came into being. It's not just sanitary pads. We
Okay.
have a range of reproductive health products. We have pregnancy strips now. We have vaginal
Okay.
healthcare products. And now we're moving towards beauty because I think health and
All
beauty
right.
goes together. And then
Okay.
somehow we plan to move towards confidence. So I think usually the bigger brands, they start from beauty because that is a very catchy market. You make more money that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
We
It's
are
very easy
getting
to market. It's very easy to get the user.
exactly. I mean, all these beauty brands, they make at least 80 million a month. That's the figure
Hmm.
I get. And but we are very sure about our priorities that we need to bring hygiene on the priority of beauty. And I think with the
Yeah.
coronavirus around us and all, these conversations are making people rethink their standard of health. Is that hygiene
Exactly.
is a bigger priority than beauty now. So I think girly things is now playing a good role. And I'm glad that we were prepared. We did not give up. this pandemic had to happen, and right now we're operating, we're delivering our products, we're making sure women are getting them inside their homes, and we're also making sure we're giving them whatever they need to pass this pandemic also.
Okay, that's really great. So, the women who come forward, what are some of their main concerns that you've had to address over time, or your team has had to address?
Okay, so mostly because we initially started with sanitary napkins, I remember they had a lot of questions about different brands. Not every brand is a safer brand, and
Hmm.
longer use of any particular brand that is unsafe can cause a lot of damage to your reproductive health. So, and if they go and talk to any particular brand, of course they will praise their own brand. But a platform that is so neutral, today when a girl calls me and asks me that which product is good, I'm very honest with her and I tell her that this one is bleached in chlorine, this one is not. This
Okay.
one is not cottony, it's not soft, it's all chemicals, it may give you
Hmm.
rashes, this one is safe. And then we're trying to identify, we're trying to help girls identify fake products
Okay.
that could damage your health and your skin, and trying to help them to understand that you need to invest in good products even if they're slightly expensive. So I think girls have these concerns, then they have concerns about their own health, and they ask us questions that, okay, which product is good for me
Hmm.
right now. Since we've started the pregnancy strips, we're also moving towards gender revealing products, so that
Okay.
in households where if the girl is pregnant, she has a kid, and later on after some time when families are willing to figure out the gender, sometimes there
Hmm.
is a slight tension if the gender is revealed to be a baby girl. That
Yeah.
is our culture, but we're
Hmm.
moving away from it, and that's very good. So we wanted to even make sure that the girl is confident about that moment, and she goes ahead and she celebrates it, and we prepare her for that. Okay, look, this is how you need to reveal it, and this is how you need to make sure that everybody celebrates that moment also. So we're creating an entire lifestyle of confidence around hygiene and reproductive health, because beauty industry is booming, but
Yeah.
hygiene and reproductive health is equally important.
And I also understand that you're coaching these women as well, right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. We have our workshops. We have our ambassador program. We did have a program where we had to sponsor a girl to go to Nepal to represent us in a conference, but it couldn't happen. It
That's
was supposed to
amazing.
be this April. And
Okay.
and but you know what, Sama? In all of this, we have never donated sanitary pads to anyone. We've never done that. We are like, you
Okay. I
purchase.
thought I
Yeah.
thought I saw on your app like a badge or something that you could pay the way forward or something, or maybe I'm wrong about that.
It was a
Yes.
feature that if you purchase more from us, you'll get certain points, and then you can use
Okay.
those points to purchase something which won't cost you anything. The
All right.
packaging
All
that
right.
we
Okay.
have
Okay.
is of jute bag. We have a jute bag packaging that is a
Mm-hmm.
reusable bag, and it's environment
Yeah.
friendly. So we encourage that once you've got your stuff from us, put
Yeah.
your stuff in it and donate it to any girl out there who might not afford it. So that is the
Mm.
cycle that we're creating.
That's amazing. And do you think it's easier for women to like log on online because we have the brown bag we have the
Yeah.
brown bag stigma where not everybody is comfortable, and even if people are comfortable, surrounding or external elements make them feel uncomfortable when they're buying products such as sanitary napkins and all. So do you think people are more comfortable when they're ordering online because you're delivering it in a bag, it's not visible, overtly from the outside. So how has that affected just the receptibility or the
I think
receptiveness?
we
Yes.
got to I think you're right that there was a lot of acceptability and receptibility because of the anonymity of it, and because
Hmm.
how it is just between the user and myself being a female and the founder. So and then even the process, the rider doesn't know what's inside it. Whoever's collecting it doesn't know what's inside it. So I think
That's
that
amazing.
trust is really good, and they don't get that when they're shopping in the mall or in a store. What
Exactly.
they're buying, which brand they're buying, everybody knows, and
Hmm.
it is revealed
Especially
again
when
and
it comes
again.
to buying a pregnancy test. That's, I feel that's such a personal thing, right? There's a lot of uncertainty associated with it, and then you go to a pharmacy and you feel somehow, sometimes you feel judged, sometimes you feel your personal space is being evaded. So I think for pregnancy tests, it's so good that women can just order them online, and there is no hue and cry. They can do the test with their like peace of mind. And yeah, I think that that's amazing.
Yes, thank you so much, and I'm happy that women are getting this autonomy in their hands. They get to decide what they need for their bodies.
Exactly, exactly. Because we do have, like, Tanzila, we have a society where everybody's kind of butting in on each other's business. So if you're doing something like, if you just order something online, you're it's just that you increase like the number of people's hands that it's passing through, right? And your information can be maybe a bit safer.
Exactly, that is so true.
So how are you thinking of like expanding this? And actually, you talked about expanding it, and you're thinking of going into beauty. And how do, because everything that you've told me, it has a certain amount of positivity and owning your space and empowerment. So how do you see that translating into the domain of beauty?
I think, like I said, that it goes hand in hand. All of these factors have to come together. And we are venturing into beauty. We were planning it. We were thinking about it. We were talking to our users that what beauty means to you. And it's not just makeup. It's the right products in terms of what shampoo you're using, what soap you're
Hmm.
using. Now, these are hygiene products, but they're semi beauty products as well because they're probably showing on the outer side. So that's where we figured out that there are products that transcend into hygiene and beauty both. So we
Okay.
need to venture into those as well. That's part of a girl's um, process of growing and grooming herself. So
Hmm.
I won't call beauty much of it, because I would call it grooming. That we're
Okay.
entering into the
Grooming
grooming.
products.
Yes, but of course that covers a range of products. So we're starting with a
Yeah.
couple of brands. Of course, a lot of them have some hygiene products as well, like hand washes or hand
Hmm.
sanitizers. So, Sama, I think that we need to give a complete package to women, a buffet that women can choose from. They should have this confidence while maintaining our ground. You're very right that we need to keep our ground first. Like, we are first a hygiene brand, and we will stick to that. But paving our way, it's for our users, and I think they are more important.
Exactly. And you have
Yes,
to be like, as an entrepreneur, you have to pivot and you have to be open to new ideas, because that's kind of the name of the game, right? It's not sticking to the same old. That's not it, right? Like your core value, it
absolutely,
stays the same, but you have to try out new ideas.
absolutely, absolutely. Growth is
And
very important.
how's like your experience been as like a female founder? What's that been like?
Okay, now that's quite interesting. I think that our ecosystem is very new in its own way.
Hmm.
So sometimes they don't know how to handle new ideas.
Yeah.
Now, the successful entrepreneurs here in Pakistan never went to any incubator, or they were never part of any competition. They were
Hmm.
out on the field. Any food business that we enjoy today as part of the Lahori identity,
Yeah.
they were raw entrepreneurs. They were like raw business people. They were out there doing what they had to do. So I think as a female entrepreneur, sometimes I'm seen as being very soft, and I have
Okay.
a product that is also very soft, very
Catering to
feminish.
women. Yeah.
Exactly. But unfortunately, the ecosystem doesn't realize that the space I am in requires double. I'm seen as too soft. That she has a
Okay.
very soft
Yeah,
startup.
there's this thing where people will not take a female co-founder or founder as seriously as they would a male counterpart, and I just that befuddles me. But yeah, in some circles, I also see that changing. So there's always hope.
Yes, there is. But Sama, you know what? This was also the case when I went abroad. This was not
Hmm.
just in Pakistan. When I
Okay,
went
you had
abroad
the
to,
same experience abroad.
yes, I went to Portugal to receive my World Summit award, and I was one of the
Sorry,
winners.
Tanzila, can you
And
repeat
I
that? Because the voice, like your audio broke up again.
am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay. So I was saying that I experienced something similar when I went abroad in the international eco space where multiple startups were there from multiple countries. And I was one of the winners of the World Summit Awards. And there, all the winners had to pitch for like this grand award. So I also pitched. And I had a friend who was part of the jury. So later on,
Tanzila,
she
your
told
audio is
me that
breaking up again.
once the
Sorry,
कोई नहीं
can't hear
मैं
you.
कहाँ तक पहुँच गई थी हेलो
You were at like you were there, and I think you said that you pitched over there.
yeah so I was saying that I was one of the winners but all the winners had to I think I'll start from the beginning no I've
Yeah, that
kind
would
of
be great.
okay so
Sorry.
कोई मसला नहीं so मैं कहाँ थी हाँ मुझे खुद भूल गया हाँ so I went to Portugal in the international eco space of the startups and I felt something similar over there. I was already one of the winners of the World Summit Awards, but there you all had to pitch for a grand award. So I did pitch, and when the jury sat down, of course, I wasn't there, but one of my friend was, and she told me that the entire jury, which obviously had more men, they had
Hmm.
such a laid back attitude towards your startup. Though you're already a winner, you did beat some other startups out there to be where you were, but they were like no what is she doing no not a big deal there are other businesses Daraz
That is so
Alibaba
hard.
AliExpress they can deliver and they were so angry and they later on told me and they said Tanzila we really vouched for you because what you're doing in a country from the
Hmm.
global south is brave it's big I mean and unfortunately the jury couldn't see that and I said you see that that is enough for me that is great enough so I was happy and I'm just I think somehow doing what I'm doing is a reward in its own way and I'm happy that I have the courage to do that I was born with that courage and God chose me for this work so it's every day is like an awards day for me.
That's a great way to think about it, man. I think today is the time where you need a lot of positivity and you need to think on the bright side because obviously businesses are suffering. Like you have corporations who are having a tough time. So us startups and SMEs, it's obviously difficult. So while we go through this time and while we're scaling these hurdles, it's important to look at the bright side and look at where we've actually gotten to. So, Tanzila, I think we have covered, like, yeah, the things I wanted to discuss was fruit chart, and then I really wanted your insight into girly things, and I think I'm much clearer on that now. Um, do you have anything planned for the future, like girly things, Zara ke alawa? Because you're also a motivational speaker, right? So, are you thinking of doing something like maybe live sessions or like, do you have something like that planned for your followers or for your audience or customers?
Well
It would be
with,
sorry, just
yeah
one thing. It would be so cool if we could have a platform where people can openly talk about hygiene, especially hygiene as it affects women, because um this is us sitting in the city and we can't openly talk about it, right? In most gatherings. But when you go to the rural areas, there's not only the fact that you can't talk about it, but there's utter lack of awareness sometimes. And that leads to a lot of problems, like health problems.
you're right you're absolutely right and this is such a huge sea that we have jumped into and since I've jumped into it sometimes I think Tanzila what have you done because the more you swim ahead the more problems you face from a range of class from a range of economic backgrounds and even genders like I've seen most of the orders that come on my website are from men And
Really?
mostly, yes, and I think they order for their wives. And sometimes we call back and one of them would pick up and they would say, okay, hand over the phone. Sometimes the wives would pick up because maybe they're just using their husband's phone,
Hmm.
or maybe they've just named their husband so that they could receive it. So it's
Yeah.
always interesting. So it's funny that I would call and say, hi Hassan, I'm calling from Girly Things, your stuff.
That
So
is interesting.
yes, and that's when I realized that it's not a female issue. It's, everybody's involved in it.
It's a
So
hygiene issue. It's a health issue. It's health.
exactly,
It's
it's
healthcare.
community, and health is always a community issue.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I've forgotten the question. What was the question?
The question was, what are you doing next?
What am I doing next?
And are
Okay.
you thinking of doing like a talk show? Not a talk show, that's like hum TV. But are you thinking of doing like having more open and louder conversations about this?
I think not on hygiene, because we have to take
Okay.
one step at a time. Right now, we're focusing on connecting the user with the products. And
Okay.
you know what, Sama? That would lead to the conversation in its own way.
Yeah.
That would do that once women know that there's a world out there that gives them that freedom and space, they would want to be a part of it. But we need to first take the first step of making sure that they have access. Because right now, a lot of women still don't have access, even before the
Exactly.
pandemic.
Hmm.
So, firstly, we're solving that. As for your question about motivational speaking, I have other plans. Like, we're starting this platform called Stand Up Speak Up, and
Okay.
we're connecting stand up artistry with public speaking, because I've been a public speaker for a very long time. So, we're trying to connect both of these and trying to help young people gain confidence into public speaking. And there, probably, we could throw in difficult taboo subjects like these and
Yeah.
challenge them to talk about it. So, I do want to work on it, but in a very subtle way, not in a direct way, because that never works. That never works.
That's really interesting. Uh I'm waiting to see what happens with the platform. When you're thinking to launch?
Most probably next month, because we're
Okay.
trying to get Girly Things a bit on its own feet now, because now we're
Yeah.
doing well. So I'm like, the team can take care of Girly Things. I need to start the next venture.
Exactly. Exactly. No, that's amazing. It's very important to build parallels and verticals. So yeah, that sounds very cool, man. I'm really excited.
Thank you
Are
so
you
much.
thinking of following Fruit Chat up with the second edition or something?
Yes, we have a series
Oh,
planned.
really? Okay.
Yes, and you're the first one probably knowing that. So
That's
we hope to
amazing.
take the. Really, I'm so happy you think that. We'll take the character of Shabana, we'll put her in difficult situations, we'll challenge her too. That show us what you've got. So
Okay.
let's see what she does. Yeah,
I think that's really interesting. I think that's something we really need to see because, especially like you said, Tanzeela, that the script and everything, it came from your heart and it came from your own experience. I think it just makes it so much more real and it just makes it so much more clear, even as a user, to just view it and to understand it. Yeah, compared to what we end up seeing on TV and how we see that, you know, disability or even minority or anything is represented, right? Unless it's coming from a place of truth, you can't get the message across.
I agree. I completely agree. And by the way, Sama, I have to say, I really appreciate your initiatives. Everything that you do, your team does, I think I really love it. We
Thank
need
you
this
so
kind of
much.
energy, more
Thank you.
lightness, and I always look forward to the posts. I know something different is up on that side. So
Thank
thank you.
you, man, so much. We always try to keep, that's the thing with propaganda. We always try to keep innovating with our content. But yeah, and we're just trying to do that during the pandemic as well. So sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a miss. So yeah, when it's a miss, you get a lot of hate comments. That's fun too. But yeah.
I think for a media generator, that should be a compliment when you're getting a lot of hate
Yeah, it's
comments.
exactly. I mean, what haters don't realize is that Facebook doesn't measure if it's a hate comment or if it's a. Okay, guys. So that was my conversation with Tanzeela. I think it went pretty well. I think we could have kept on going if my battery hadn't failed me. But yeah, so this was the first episode of Out of the Box, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll have more episodes coming soon. I'm actually going to DM a few people and ask them if they want to get on. So yes, thank you for tuning in. And stay tuned to Propergaanda. I hope you like the content. If you're not enjoying the content or it doesn't feel the same, feel free to get in touch. We're pretty receptive to feedback. Unless it's hate comments, where we're receptive, but yeah, we have... So yeah, you know hate comments, how they are. So anyway, this is Samah Akhtar. I'm tuning out. If you want to reach out for a conversation, I'm available at Twitter and also at my Instagram account, which I run with my sister, where we try to act like influencers, but we're very bad at it. Okay guys, so that's all from my end today, and I hope to see you guys on another episode. Let me know in the comments below what you thought and how you liked the episode, what things we should improve, all that stuff. Okay guys, I am out now.